sharing my personal experiences with body shaming. It started when I was very young. I was in fact a terribly skinny kid. It comes as a surprise to most, but I've got the pictures to prove it. My poor parents, they were so worried about my health and my small frame. And it didn't help matters that relatives or family friends would ask, does she eat anything? So they sought the help of a doctor and they started me on an appetite increasing pill. And I had an idea of what this was for. Not that it mattered to me. It only started to matter when the body shaming started. The pill had its side effects, you see. Basically, my metabolism slowed down tremendously. My hunger pangs increased, and I never felt full after a meal. My appetite control bottomed out. So here I was, a chubby 11-year-old who was suddenly having trouble running because I ran out of breath easily. I wasn't used to this bigger body. I felt fatigued easily. My parents were not expecting such a dramatic change, and they didn't take to it very well. People around me didn't take to my new body very well. Classmates, relatives, they always had something mean or sarcastic to say when they spoke of me. It embarrassed my parents to no end, and they got really angry with me. I started getting called names at home and outside, like fat slob, lazy pig. I was so confused and very hurt. So I started my first weight loss regime when I was 12. I took matters into my own hands and I tried to curb my appetite. I started exercising excessively. And when I say exercising excessively, I mean every day of the week, 2 or 3 times a day. And puberty struck around that time. It helped me shed some weight, but if I thought that that was going to be the end of my problems with my weight, I was very mistaken. Things began to get really tough in school and at home in my teens. I mean, naturally, as a teenager. By 15, I developed bulimia. I would binge eat to my heart's content, say 3 hamburgers, to fill the emptiness inside. But then I would feel guilty, and I would purge and vomit it out. This carried on for a few years until I just decided to give up. At the tender age of 16, I gave up on myself. I gave up on my body. I gave up on my future. I gave up on my life. I was so angry, so depressed with the world and the people around me. I stopped watching my weight and I just rebelled. I was so angry that my self-worth depended on how slim I was, on how I looked. But that wasn't the end. No, not even close. The body shaming got to me time and time again. Hurtful comments and glances at my body would make me feel painfully self-conscious. And I found myself in these cycles of losing weight to shut people up and then gaining it back because I was so angry I had to please people. This yo-yo cycle followed me through my 20s, and it made me so miserable. It finally ended when I was 30. Why? Because a year before my 30th birthday, someone very important to me passed away from the painful ordeal of cancer. I watched a very strong, sturdy mother figure wither away to skin and bones, and she was only 59. Grieving led me to thinking, how do I want to be remembered when I die? What sort of a legacy do I want to leave behind? What can I change about my life today that will make my days feel more fulfilled? Life is short. I want to make the most of it while I can, because you really never know when your time is up. I look back at my teenage years and my 20s. It was all about looking good, so that I could please my parents, so that I could please the people around me, so that I would be noticed and admired by boys. I was so busy thinking about how other people wanted me to look like. I was so envious of celebrities Women in magazines with their so-called perfect bodies and perfect lives. Surely, if I had the perfect body, life would be perfect, no? In all those weight loss attempts, I did lose the weight successfully, but I did not gain a healthier self-esteem. With each attempt, I hated myself a little more, and I became overly self-conscious of my physical appearance. What good did that do for me? So I went online and I Googled, yes, I Googled, plus-size bloggers. Blogging is a platform not foreign to me. I have been blogging my introspective thoughts for some time, you know, ramblings about the world. And I knew the power of words from the many blogs that I had read. To my amazement, I came across so many plus-size bloggers from around the world who spoke about fashion for big girls, who spoke about embracing themselves because style has no size limit. This led me to learning about body positivity and the issue of body shaming. It was like a whole new world just opened in front of my eyes. I remember thinking to myself, I wish I had such amazing role models to look up to while I was growing up. But better late than never. I realized I have a passion for this subject and just started pouring my heart out on the blog. Really not expecting anyone to read it because I didn't know if anyone was even aware of body positivity or plus-size fashion in Singapore. But I was wrong. There are people around who believe in body positivity, and that's why I'm here today. I didn't just want to blog about pretty plus-size clothes and my journey to feeling body beautiful, tra-la-la. I wanted to lend a voice to many young girls out there who struggled like I once did. I want to effect change. I want to let people know that it is okay to be skinny, short, tall, fat. You're good enough, just the way you are. This is why I have started my journey here with the We Can campaign as a change maker. I am a very introverted person. I had to sit down. And a really shy public speaker. But this cause is so important to me, so I decided to speak up. I attended a change maker workshop and, just give me a minute, just knew that this platform was the platform for my voice to reach the masses. The Changemaker community has been very supportive and encouraging. And most importantly, we share the same passion. We all may struggle to accept who we are, but we can find solidarity in that struggle. We can come together and positively reaffirm each other along the way. Whenever I feel lonely of myself, I remind myself of the first few lines of that Marianne Williamson poem that Nelson Mandela quoted. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. I hope that each of us will come to see how very powerful we can be if we start looking at ourselves differently, if we start looking up to ourselves. We have so much to give, and we are beautiful just the way we are. I hope you will join us in taking the Changemaker pledge against violence, because no one deserves to be shamed, no one deserves to be bullied, no one deserves to be insulted for their appearance. Thank you.